Honest question, now that we're 3 movies in and we have a 4th on the way, what do we even call this franchise? The 28 franchise? The 28 later franchise? Hey everyone, I'm the guy with no name. Thanks for stopping by my channel. If you enjoy the video, please show your support by liking and subscribing. I'm trying to get to 300 subscribers and I'm so close, so I would definitely appreciate your help. Also, if you're a returning viewer, I apologize for the basically month-long break between my last video and this one. My family and I actually moved into a house, which is exciting, but also super stressful. Things are finally starting to sort of die down, so about 28 days after my previous video, here's my review of 28 Years Later. So 28 Years Later is the sequel to 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later. Rather than going with months as we all expected, Danny Boyle decided to surprise us and jump to years, but I digress. After opening with a boy named Jimmy barely escaping the initial outbreak of the rage virus, we jump to 28 years after the second outbreak and learn that it's been contained in Great Britain, which is now considered the quarantine zone. Spike, a 12-year-old boy, lives in a community in the Scottish Highlands with his father Jamie and his ill mother Isla. Jamie is a scavenger for the group, and he decides it's time to take Spike along with him to learn what it takes to survive outside the safety of the walls. 28 Years Later was produced and directed by Danny Boyle, who directed the first in the series, and stars Alfie Williams as Spike, Aaron Taylor Johnson as Spike's father Jamie, Jodie Comer as Isla, Spike's mother, and Rafe Fiennes as Dr. Ian Kelson, someone who lives outside the group and is considered to be insane and dangerous. To give you a bit of context, I really enjoyed 28 Days Later, and while I didn't enjoy 28 Weeks Later as much, it seems I liked it a bit more than most. At the end of the day though, I was disappointed, so ever since then I've been hoping for a sequel that could be more in line with the quality of days rather than weeks, and I'm happy to report that Years is a really great follow-up. It was definitely worth the wait. For starters, I did enjoy jumping 28 years into the future after the second outbreak and getting to see clues here and there about what's happened in the past 2+ decades, and also getting some clues on what's happening in the rest of the world, though it definitely doesn't spoon-feed you. The story was also really engaging, and I loved how unpredictable it was. There were a couple things that I called here and there, though I'll admit part of it was due to seeing certain shots in the trailer and going, oh, I think that's gonna happen next. But overall, I kept catching myself wondering what was gonna happen and having literally no idea. Also, I gotta say, in a post-Walking Dead world, it's impressive just how much this zombie film is unique and sets itself apart from everything else. The characters are another strong point in the film. Each one felt like a real person with their own strengths, weaknesses, and motivations, and every actor did a great job of taking the already well-written material and elevating it to the next level. Oh, and this one has by far the best cinematography out of the 3. There's lots of breathtaking, photo-worthy shots, so kudos to the cinematographer. The action and suspense are definitely top-notch. It's a serious and emotional story with some surprising heartfelt moments. I even teared up a couple times, but it also has some moments of levity that lighten the mood a bit without overstaying their welcome. Oh, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that it was pretty fascinating to see how the humans, and especially the infected, have evolved over these 28 years, and it certainly raises some interesting questions that I'm hoping will be answered in the sequel. So yeah, I went into this movie cautiously optimistic, but honestly, I think it might be my favorite movie of the year so far. In my humble opinion, 28 Years Later is magnificent. So those were my thoughts on the movie, but now I'd love to hear about your thoughts on it in the comments below. I know I gushed about this movie a lot, so I'm really curious to see how many of you agree with how much I loved it versus how many of you are like, dude, that was way too positive. But either way, I love to go through each and every comment and reply to them, just so you know. As always, thanks for watching. 28 Years Later was my highest rated movie of the year, but if you want to watch my lowest rated movie of the year so far, check out my review of Snow White. This is the guy with no name, signing off.